Rehi Om. My dear holy souls, this is Mata Anantananda, Sri Sadguru Shivarama Avadhuta Ashramam, Kamvaram village, Kannur district, Andhra Pradesh state, from Bharat, that is India. Under the caption of Wonderful Indian Folk Stories, we are enjoying the wonderful, twistful, thrillful, and adventurous stories of Bhatti and Vikramaditya, the historical personalities of ancient India. In that series of videos, this is 66th one. This is the second part of the story told by the light strand. Main incidents in this story are the king Gandheswara's discussion with legal scholars regarding the dispute of Apurupa Sundari, drive out from country as punishment. With high grievance, her trial to jump into fire to burn into the fire to commit suicide. At the time, she was rescued from a prostitute. The outcoming skills from these stories are the story of the princess from the status of lavish palace to forest makes us extreme surprise. It makes us to realize the hardness of life. The remaining story, let us enjoy in the video. As we discussed in the previous video, King Gandheswara, he thought that would be not able to give the right justice to the case of Apurupa Sundari, as she is his daughter-in-law. So that he called on the legal experts and asked them to solve the dispute. They said, "Oh, King, your Majesty, as per our sastras, it is a severe dispute what your daughter-in-law had done. So that actually we had to kill her. We had to give the sentence of death to her. But we have no authority to kill her baby. That's why let her give the sentence as drive her from the palace and drop her in the midst of the forest." The king accepted that, and he ordered his soldiers to take her in the night time by tying up her eyes with a cloth, as she could not be see the way, and something else as per the custom of the justice, and take her to the midst of the forest and leave her there. The soul, with high grievance, with high pain in the heart, had given such order to the soldiers. All the queens wiped like anything. They wept. And then the soldiers also, with sinking heart like that, and they had taken her. She was almost paralyzed. She was not able to hear, and she was not able to understand what was happening. And the soldiers, with the help of their 7 maids, they had put her on the chariot, and they tied up her eyes with a cloth, and they had driven her to the forest. And almost at the midnight, they dropped her in the midst of the forest and left there. And before leaving that place, they had removed the cloth which they tied up on her eyes like that, and they left the place. By that time, almost she was unconscious. After some time, she came into the consciousness, but not able to understand about the situation. Finally, she could sense that she was dropped in the midst of the forest. It was very dark, and all the trees in the darkness, there seems to be shades of devils like that, and she was frightened like anything. All the shouting shouts and cries of animals, creatures, and wild living beings of the forest. She was frightened like anything, and her body was trembling, and she watched all the directions, but She thought, and she claimed herself, and she claimed, blamed the God also. "Oh God, why you have given such a life to me? Instead of all this sorrowfulness, why not you kill me? Why not you give the death to me with mercy?" She prayed like that, and she tried to track away, but the thorns, very powerful and sharpened thorns, they were pierced in her feet, which were very delicate, just like a fresh and thin battle leaves. She cried with pain, and while trying to walk, all the forest sharpened rocks on the here and there, they hurt. The stones hurt her a beautiful and a delicate body. She cried with pain. And finally, she had watched some wild animals surrounded her. And with a little bit happiness and relief, she thought that she might meet the death. By thinking like that, she ran by overcoming the pain of the stones and thrones before that wild animals to offer her as a food to that wild animals. But by watching her face, what they thought the wild animals, we don't know. They just looked on her face and simply they left from there. And she cried about for her unlucky and bad fate on her face. And then finally she traced a footway, which is very narrow one. Then, then she thought, let her go on that way. Actually, it was the way towards the Chandragiri only, because while coming to there in the chariot along with soldiers, her eyes were tied up. That's why she couldn't trace out the way. And anyway, she was not in such a situation to watch the surroundings. And anyway, she finally, as God's decision like that, she traced the footpath towards Chandragiri. She walked about at least 1 hour like that. And finally, she watched a fire just a limited distance from her. She thought it might be wildfire like that, so that she felt a little bit happy. She thought that she would go there and jump into the fire to commit suicide. With such a thought, she gathered her least strength in the body, and she driven her body towards that fire. And she reached there. After reaching near to that fire, she sensed that it was not wildfire. She was the fire of a corpus which was burning down. And there she watched a dark feminine posture there. She thought it might be some devil like that. She thought that devil was waiting to eat the corpus. And definitely she will eat myself also. She thought like that, Apurupa Sundari. And she thought before the devil eat her body, it's better to jump into the fire. By thinking like that, she had taken 2-3 holy rounds around the corpus and tried to jump into the fire. Actually, whom she had seen, it was not a devil. It was the mother of that corpus which was burning down in the fire. Her name was Chitravalli. She was the resident of Chandragiri, a prostitute. The corpus is of her daughter, Vichitravalli. In the younger age, Chitravalli was very beautiful lady and she was very talented in the prostitution, her um, profession like that. And the only daughter was Vichitravalli. She was very beautiful than the mother in her young age. She was younger, but due to fate, she got the pregnancy. Actually, the prostitutes, they'll take 1 or 2 choices to give birth of the babies. If the baby, the newborn baby was a male, they used to kill them. And if it is the female one, they used to grown up and make them talented in their profession. And they'll take them as a life form. such that Vichitravalli, she allowed her pregnancy. But after reaching the delivery time, due to the physical the difficulties, um, the baby inside her womb had taken the wrong position, so that she met the death. And at that time, Chitravalli, she expected the help from the citizens of the Chandragiri, but nobody came to help her. She thought and she got irritation like anything. On the night time, by hearing a wail on their head, on the behind the darkness, so many rich people, they were interested to come to engage with Vichitravalli. When she met death, nobody had turned their face towards their house. That's why Chitravalli felt very bad about the society, about the psychology of the people. And then, with such grievance, she prevented her servant maids also. And with some temper and the anger, she had taken the corpus of her daughter alone, and she efforted to came to the burial ground. But there the burial ground man, the servant of the burial ground, he refused to burn the corpus of Vichitravalli by claiming that prostitutes are harmful to the society. So that with some grievance and such irritative feeling, Chitravalli, she herself made the fires, and she put the corpus of her daughter on that, and she fired there. And by that time, Apurupa Sundari came there. Then immediately, without thinking anything, the prostitute Chitravalli jumped towards Apurupa Sundari, and she could succeed to escape her from the suicide trial. And she had taken her by hugging her towards the near shade of the tree, and she made her to sit there, and then said, "Oh, great young girl, your chastity and your face glowing like anything. Why you are taking such a terrible trial to kill yourself? And it seems that you are carrying and about to delivery, about to give birth a newborn, a new baby. Then why you are taking such a risk? Is it not sin? Why you have done such effort?" Then Apurupa Sundari said, "Oh, great mother, I don't know who you are, but I think that you are thinking that you have done faith to me, but you have done very sin to me. It's better to leave me to die. It's such a bad luck life mine is, and I'm a misfortune girl. Let me go to die." Then that prostitute Chitravalli said, "It's no, you have no right to kill your baby, which is in your womb. Um, don't do like that. Here, my name is Chitravalli, and I'm burning my own daughter's corpus there. She failed to give delivery to a baby, then met the death. I'm with such grievance. Now it seems that God had sent you to me, and I'll treat you like my daughter. Please come to my house and live with me. I'll protect you in all the directions, in all the angles. I'll give food and shelter and everything, whatever you need. Please come with me. Don't take such adventurous steps once again. Come with me." She prayed to Apurupa Sundari like that. And Apurupa Sundari also thought that she can't commit suicide once again. And God's decision is like that. Of course, if she thought, if I take another trial also, it may not get succeed. It seems God's decision is like that. She thought like that, and she accepted to go to with Chitravalli. Then both they reached Chitravalli's house, and Chitravalli had treated Apurupa Sundari by giving hot milk and giving some rest like that. After 2-3 days passed, she was Apurupa Sundari was felt somewhat comfortable. Then Chitravalli asked, who is she, whatever, what was her history. And then Apurupa Sundari just bluffed. She hid her real story and told that she belonged to some normal girl like that. And she had led the issue. And Chitravalli also sensed that the girl, she don't like to and didn't like to reveal her whereabouts, and she was not particular about it. And after 1 week like that, Apurupa Sundari sensed that she reached again the Chandragiri only, but she kept calm. And days were passing, and Chitravalli, she was taking every care about pregnant Apurupa Sundari. Days came and the delivery time seems to arrival. Then what will happen in the next part of this story? What the light stand will tell? Let us enjoy in the coming up video. Harihi Om. Thank you for watching.